Oh my, this is the drive shaft for the rear wheels. This is the back of the transfer case. The camera's looking forward and you can see we've got a shaft seal leak here. This is one of those slip joints, so we need to undo it at the back and then pull the whole thing out. Of course, you want to be sure the universal joint is okay, and it seems to be all right as far as I can tell. I've marked this previously because I've had this off in the past. These are 11mm, these 4 bolts here. Now you got to be careful here because these caps can fall off, and look what's happened here. This particular one has a little retaining clip, but that's rusted off now, and so the cap could easily go flying. So I normally just tape them up so the cap doesn't go a long ways from where it needs to be, spilling all the needle bearings everywhere. If you're not careful, you could end up having to redo the universal joint. These seem to be fine right now, so I'll just tape this up properly. Not quite sure what I'm going to do about this clip here. I might just break it off. It's obviously not doing anything at the moment. If I put this thing on, it could start flying and jam up other things, so it might be better, might be safer just to cut it off the other end and call it a day. Let's just take that clip right off. There, let's just get rid of it. So I'm disappointed this little strap came off, but it was already broken and it seemed to be functioning fine otherwise. And so for now I'm just going to repack this with some silicone paste, and I'll keep an eye on it in the future. I may well have to replace this universal joint at some point, but I don't see a reason to do that now. I'm just going to take the residue of the seal off of the drive shaft here. There's no pitting or other major issues. Okay, this is the new seal made by SKF. There's the part number. And that's the inside, and you can see a little spring in there. And the outside, and the important thing to note here is this little hole and that bump. This bump needs to go up. The little hole needs to be down, so any water that manages to collect in here has a way to get out. Now I'm just going to put a bit of wheel bearing grease onto this on the outside just so the seal isn't damaged as we put it in. And I'm going to put a bit of that grease over the spring to try and hold the spring in so the spring doesn't get dislocated as we tap it in. Now the other problem I have is that I don't have a socket that's big enough to go around this. I need to be able to go right around there, and the biggest I have is this piece of tape here, which I guess it'll be okay. That's pretty good right there. Okay, we didn't lose a lot of fluid, but I just double checked the level. In any case, we're on level ground. There's the fill plug and the drain plug, and I opened the fill plug and checked my level. My level is fine there. And then I hit the whole thing with a bit of degreaser to get rid of all the mud staining. And I also wiped down the new seal, because one thing about grease, it has a way of attracting dust, and then the dust and grit gets into the seal and damages it. Okay, a couple of important points. The first is that this particular transfer case, the 246D, was prone to a condition called pump rub, where the pump would erode away the inner wall of the case and cause a little pinhole, and that would leak away all the oil, and then the transfer case would grenade a few weeks after that. So the message is that if you get a pattern of oil, make sure it's consistent with it being just a seal, and have a look for little pinhole leaks if that's your issue. And then the second thing is that there's a bushing behind that seal, and sometimes what can happen is the shaft can erode the bushing, which can create wobble, which can destroy the seal, and so have a look for that as well. In this particular case, it'd be really difficult to change that bushing without having to take the whole case down and splitting the case. So we're not going to do that. We're just going to see how it does with the new seal. In any case, I hope this video helped you out. Thanks for watching.